Hi, it's Mrs. Donahue, and I just want to remind everyone how to do Photoshop Lesson 3. So the first thing that you should do is go to the bottom to confirm that you're doing everything. So you want to complete the steps above. So we're going to copy the cat image, and you're going to have 3 different cat images in your folder. If you have your originals in there, which is what we've been doing, that's fine. So those are in addition to. So you need to use the regular selection tool, the square marquee one, the lasso tool, and the quick select tool. And then you're going to repeat the process with another photo, and you're going to combine 2 other images of your choice and save that to your photo. So in the end, that's what you're going to have. So I'm going to go to Pixlr. I'm already there, and I'm going to do File, Open. And I already have the images saved to my drive. So I'm going to navigate over. And it's just going to take a minute for this to open up. So I know I'm going to go into my drive. And I'm going to go into, it's gone into Locke's lesson. So I need to go into lesson 3. And I'm going to grab the cat photo. And then I'm going to open again. File, Open. And it should bring me to the same folder. So I'm going to wait and look at the path at the top to make sure. And again, it just takes another minute. And so it's going back into lesson 3. Perfect. And it's going to be the beach fire is the one that I want. You can see I've already saved something. So I'm going to open the beach fire. And that double click did not work. Let's try it again. Okay, so now I have 2 photos open. I want to move this photo so I can have them side by side. So I'm just going to move it, and I can click up at the bar there. So the first thing that I have to do is I'm going to use, so these are the selection tools. So this one is the marquee selection tool. This is the lasso tool, and this is the wand tool. So we're going to use this one first, and we're going to click, and I'm going to draw a box around the cat. So the trick is this hash mark has to be up above his ears and to the left of his tail, so I don't cut off any of the cat. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. I think I have all of the cat, and I'm just going to either do Edit, Copy, or I can do Control C, and then I'm gonna click on the beach fire. So this is now the active image, and I just do Control V to paste it. So there's the cat, but he's in the fire, and I don't want him to be in the fire. So I'm gonna click back over here on my Move tool, and I'm going to click and drag him out of the fire a little bit. And I also want to make him smaller because he's a little bit big. So I'm going to hold the Shift key down. Well, first I'm going to do Edit, Free Transform. And I can also do Control T there. And I'm going to hold the Shift key down, and that constrains the proportion. So you see he stays exactly proportional. His height and width are the same proportion as before. And I move him outside of the rocks. So that is done. Yes, I want to apply my changes. Now I'm going to save this photo. So I'm going to do File, Save, and it's beach fire. So it's going to be beach. I'm going to call it maybe beach square cat. And remember, I'm using the camel case with those capital letters, and it's going to be a JPEG. So perfect. I'm going to say OK. And it should bring it back to the same folder where I opened it, but I just have to wait and see. And again, there's a slight delay. I guess my Wi-Fi is not working really well today. Perfect. So going into lesson 3, and I'm going to hit Save. And now my image is saved. So I am going to go, I'm just going to hit Undo, or I can go back and do the history change here. So see the history down here? So I can either do Control Z to undo, and see it's going to move up one at a time. Or I could have just clicked there to move back to the history. So you can do either or. So here with the cat, I'm going to again do either I can do Edit and deselect everything, or Control D, or I could just click and go back just same as before. So now I'm going to do the next selection tool. So it's the lasso. So I click on the lasso, and I'm going to try and trace around the cat. So I have to trace around, and I try not to cut off any of the cat. And if you're really good at it, you can get really nice and close to him, but I'm just going to do a really quick job here and not really do the best. See, I kind of cut off part of his tail. Again, this is not for perfection. This is to practice. So the more practice you get, the more accurate you want to get, then you'll be better at it. And that will help you with the later projects. But this one, we just want you to try the tools. And as I'm getting closer, it's kind of is not doing too badly. Okay, and then once I connect them, then I let go, and you see you have those marching ants all around the cat. So the copy's still the same, Control C to copy, and then I'm gonna click back on this photo, and I'm gonna do Control V to paste this time. And again, I wanna move the cat, so I click on the Move tool, I click and drag him over, and he's still pretty big, so I wanna resize him, so I'm gonna do Edit, Free Transform, and I'm going to hold the Shift key down, and I always transform from a corner. I always resize from a corner, get them the size I want. And I'm going to say yes to apply those changes. Then I'm going to do Save, File, Save. And this one, instead of being Black Square Cat, or Beach Square Cat, I'm going to say Beach Lasso Cat. So I'll know, I hit OK. It's going to bring up the save window. I'm going to check to make sure it's being saved in the right spot because we're really concerned with file management. We want to make sure we're keeping our drives nice and organized. So this is perfect. It's going to the right spot. I'm going to click Save. This window's in the way. I'm going to close this little window. Okay, so now it is saved. So now I'm back on this picture. So remember before I said you can undo? So I'm just going to go all the way back in the history, and the cat's gone. So I don't need to hit the Control Z or Edit Undo all those times. I can do it once. I'm going to click back on the cat, and now I'm going to deselect. So it is either Edit, Deselect All, or Control D. And now I'm going to try my last tool, my wand tool. So this one, it's looking for continuous color, and so you can switch the tolerance number so you can make it higher or lower. So there's two different options here. So you can either have, maybe try a little bit of a higher number, and we're just going to try and take out, but this number, do you see how it's too high? Because do you see down here, it took out parts of the cat already. So that tolerance is too high. So I'm going to undo that. So Control Z, and I'm going to make my tolerance smaller. Okay, so it's kind of back to where it started from. And I'm going to click on this section. So that's going to take, and I'm going to hit the backspace button, and I'm just deleting whole sections of this background because I want to try and isolate the cat. Now that again took too much, so I don't want that one. So I'm going to click over here. Nope. Let's click over here. Okay, that looks like a good one. It doesn't look like it's getting the cat. I'm going to try and get the grass. Hit delete there. Let's see. That gets the cat. So I'm just trying first for the easy sections. I'm first going to try sections that don't get the cat. And when the color gets too close, see how these bricks are sort of the same color as the cat's head? So that doesn't work really well. And Mrs. Kelly gave us a nice challenge to do for our first Photoshop, which is good because it gives us practice. All right, that's so far, I think that's probably the closest I can go. Oh, there's one. Okay, so now I'm getting, a lot of the cat away. The other things that I can do is I can lower the tolerance level even more. So maybe let's say I'll make it like 13. And let's see if I can get things that won't get the cat. Okay, that looks pretty good. It might take off the tip of the ear. No, that's pretty good. So this lower tolerance seems to be doing a little bit better and not getting the cat, but getting around the cat, which is what I want to do. So this will just take a little bit of time. And you can fast forward in the video because you might be bored watching me do all of these little sections. I'm going to do down here. The other tool sometimes that people use is the eraser tool, and I'll show you how to do that as well. See if I can get some more sections. You can get around this cute little cat. All right, that's not going to work. So I'm going to try another one. Let me try over this way. That one's pretty good. That still is getting the tip of the tail. Okay, so I'm going to show you the eraser tool. So the eraser tool right now, it's a 50 is the brush size. Oh, but I still have this selected. So my eraser is not going to work because that's selected. I need to deselect. So I can do Control D or Edit Deselect. And so here I can start erasing some things.